Hello, fellow YouTubians. It's the moment you've all been waiting for, the Mrs. BG Atlanta stash update. As you can see, I purchased some very lovely yarn while in Atlanta. Oh, wait! You guys want to hear about the model show and the model cars I bought, not the yarn. Ha ha ha. That's another update. Anyway, we had a fantastic time in Atlanta. Got my little skeletons a little off there. We met so many people. It was really, really fun. The list is quite long, and I'm sure I've missed a few people. We got to meet my bestie, Jeff, and his wife, Patty. Jeff has delusions that I'm going to adopt him. Shh, don't tell him. It's all a farce.
Here comes the letters.
Just kidding, just kidding. No, it was fantastic to meet Jeff and Patty, and Charlie Mack and his wife Susan, and Brian B.A.S. Drydox and his wife Candy, and Fred Henry and his wife Vicky. Vicky is an absolute doll. Actually, all the wives were fantastic, and it's just really, really cool to see other couples who support each other in their crafts the way Brian and I do. So that was really fun. Got to see Mutt modeler Craig again. I met him at the IPMS show in Phoenix this last year. Yeah. Got to meet Monty, aka Santa Claus. He's pretty cool. Pablo Santiago, great guy. It was really fun talking about model building and 3D printing and the resin printing, and it sounds like that's actually a pretty affordable kind of thing. So we'll see if the creative brains and pocketbooks and hobby minds here at BG Model Workshop, if we can handle getting into the 3D scene or not. But I think it would be really, really cool. Printing chassis and just wheels and tires, not wheels, tires really. Well, yeah, I guess it is wheels and tires, both. Anyway, pretty cool. The brain just starts to go a little crazy, which is always fun. And also met Pablo's wife. She was very lovely. Got to see George from Vision 124. We met him when we were out at NNL West in Santa Cruz. Met Papa Dan. He's a very, very nice gentleman. Really fun to talk to. Colonel Reb, Dylan and his parents. Had fun taking Dylan shopping and showing him some good Tamiya Fujimi. I think he got Fujimi and Hasegawa kits. So many kits, it's a little hard to remember, but it was pretty fun. And Rick Zink and the Skeletons. Rick Zink also interviewed both Brian and myself, talking about our cars, so that's really cool. Got to meet Jim, aka Siren Monkey, and discovered that he has family in Montana and spent a lot of time there as well. So it's always kind of fun when that Montana connection comes back into play. And met Tom, Rambler69, Rick Scott at Heartbeat Models, Trucks Customs. We did the 3 questions with Trucks Customs. So my face reveal debut will be posted sometime in the not so distant future. Hard to say. But that was really fun. So he interviewed Brian and I, and that was really cool. So like I said, it's a great time. Lots of really cool people. Definitely going to go back next year. I think it was well worth the visit, and we did a little bit of sightseeing in Atlanta, hit a couple yarn shops, ate some really great food. If you have a chance to go to Ted's Montana Grill, do it. The buffalo fillet is amazing. Really wishing that we had those here in Arizona. So now for the fun part, the stash update. So when Brian and I were talking about the show, he sent me a text with pictures of the model kits that he was on the lookout for. He had like 4 not really that big of a list. Not that you'd tell by all the models that I picked out. But anyway, so Brian really likes the Thomas Flyer. That's been kind of like a background. If you see one, we should get it because I wish I had type thing. So I found another Thomas Flyer for Brian, and it is missing one piece. That's it. So let me see if I can do this a little bit better. Ah, beautiful. So Brian says he can fix that easily with a piece of styrene. So fantastic. I think we've picked up 3 of those, and I think Brian might have sent one off to someone. I'm not sure, but it's a fun kit. And I think we've got our stash of Thomas Flyers now. Brian was also on the lookout for the Yanko Corvette. Oops, which direction am I going? And you didn't really think he'd find anything. He'd gone through, and then I put on my laser focus and found his Yanko Corvette, which I think is one of the last ones he needs for his kind of collection. And when we were getting that, I spied with my eyes a GT40. Woohoo! As most of you know, Brian just loves the GT40s. He's already built a couple, and it's one of the few kits or cars that Brian enjoys building so much that he wants to build more than, the 2 or 3 he's done already. So, anyway, saw this. This is a great little kit. It's so cute. And it's Gulf Oil colors, which is, again, Brian's probably favorite racing livery. He likes to dabble in Martini and, a few other ones, but his heart is always with the Gulf Oil colors. In fact, so much so that I got him this phone case for his new phone. So that's his second Gulf Oil phone case. Color's a little dark on that one, but if history holds with the phone cases, it will probably fade a little bit to more of the colors like this car. So, like I said, beautiful little kit, these great cars. And it's a Japanese kit, so of course I'm always all in for that. They just have some great detail. And then the first 2 kits that I guess caught my eye were these Fujimi Dinos. So we've got the regular hard-headed hard hat car, right? And the Spider. So kind of walked around. They were stuck in my head. Do I get them? Do I not get them? And then our friend John Sweber, who went out with us, he was like, have you seen any old Porsche cars? I said, yes, I have. The Dinos. And he's like, yeah, but I'm looking for the Enthusiast. So, of course, these are the Enthusiast models, which have the engine detail and just lots of bits and bobs. No Bettys, just bits and bobs. So anyway, we were looking at him, and he kind of wanted to buy one, but it was him and Han. I'm like, you know what? They're mine. Sorry. Brian will probably be the one to build them. We might do one each. I'm not sure. We'll see. I need a kick in my pants to start building some of the other stuff, or at least finishing what I've partially built. So hopefully for the next ACME, I will have the Riviera done and the Subaru. If not, I don't know what the punishment should be. I don't think I should mention any punishments because I might have people who want to take me up on that. Anyway, so on probably the 4th or 5th round through all the cars, because yeah, it's hard to take everything in. So my eyes spied, the edge of this box, something about a Jaguar, I don't know, and I'm like, oh, Brian likes one of those. I wonder. And woohoo! It was one of the beautiful Jags that Brian loves. So I had turned to go, hey, honey, and then I'm like, you know what? I don't need Brian to know whether or not this Jag kit's a good kit. So I pulled it out, and I'm like, yes. And then Brian came over, and the guy's like, it's 25, but if you want to get 2, I'll do 20 each. And he said, what about the BMW Cabrio? So, funny story, as some of you probably remember, Brian has been on the lookout for this kit for a while. And on our last trip, in fact, it was the NNL West trip, on the way home, we stopped at Pegasus Hobbies. And guess what Mrs. BG found? A BMW Cabrio. And went, ooh, look what I've got. And Brian went, guess what? Brian got his Cabrio, so now he's super happy. And when we were looking at that, still had a little bit of cash burning a hole in the pocket. This guy had some really great kits. You cannot go wrong with a Revell flat pack. It's usually Revell Germany, and they're great kits. In fact, when we were on our way to the show, I was like, okay, keep your eyes out for Fujimis, Hasegawas, Tamiyas, Revell flat packs. We came home with like 3. So the gentleman at this booth showed this to Brian, and Brian was like, oh wow, that's really cool. So he picked up this, and then again it was the, well, hey, if you get 2, we'll do, 2 for $40 instead of $25 each. So I saw this one. Actually, we ended up not having change, so we paid full price for this. But I was like, hey, what about the Renault Rally? Because Brian has a thing for rally cars lately. So this is just the cutest little car. So Brian picked that up because he was like, oh yeah, that is a great car. Not something he would have necessarily picked up. As you've probably gathered from other videos, that happens a lot. Mrs. BG goes, hey, what about this one? And, he has to kind of go, oh, well, never thought about, And he ends up with some interesting stash additions. So, on our way kind of out, last loop around, we were just kind of looking at some kits, and I saw this little guy. Brian has done the 1/12th View the Figures. He's got a Boba Fett, and he has had some thoughts of doing a really cool motorcycle conversion for Boba Fett. The tough part is most of these motorcycle kits are a bit pricey. I don't think we've seen one under $40 anywhere. So I saw this just kind of poking out, and I thought, for $20, it's worth trying to modify, see what he can do, maybe make something of it. So I was like, what about this? And then working my willing and dealing, I pulled out 20 and asked if she'd take 15, and of course she did. So you gotta ask, never hurts. And then Brian found out this is kind of a rare kit, and a great price, and maybe he should build it as is. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm still sticking by my guns with the $15. I think that's a price that you can play and see what you can make of it, or build it to get an idea of how they go together and work on the thought process for the real thing. There was a gentleman walking around giving away free decals. He was holding them up and back, take your pick. Winner, chicken dinner. I pulled this one, picked the larger decal pack and got the Texaco decals, which is pretty cool. If Brian does a garage diorama or something, he'll use those, so kind of fun. Great freebie. They also had a table with some pictures for $5 each. So, of course, got this beautiful Gulf oil color, I can't even talk, Corvette. They had the front view and the back view, and Brian asked which one I want, and I said, it's all about the back, baby. So, anyway, and of course, it's number 22. Both Brian and I have lucky 22 birthdays. Speaking of which, oh my heck, Jezebek, Charlie Mack and I have the same birthday. Many, not so many really years apart. But we are both November 22nd babies, so that's pretty cool. It was kind of a fun revelation. So we got this to go in the guest room. We have picked up a few car pictures, photos for the guest room. And then this was my other choice. These are some great little cars. And I like this kind of artwork. It's really fun. And it's a nice way to decorate a room and just have some creativity that goes beyond San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge. We have a whole San Francisco area in our house. And a few of the other things. So brings in the level models and cars and just makes for a great time. All right, folks, it's been almost 16 minutes, so I better sign off and fast. Anyway, great meeting everyone. I had so much fun. I'm sure I missed a few people. Try to keep track of everybody. Keep everybody attached to their YouTube channel. I do watch some of your videos here and there, not as much as Brian, but I have, I think, seen most of the people on the list. I've seen at least one of your YouTube videos, so thanks for tuning in, and look forward to seeing you next year. Have a great one. Bye.